the stock market, meaning companies, new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. Nuts. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. The no bullshit approach to all financial markets, from Bitcoin, darknets to political betting, and of course, right here where I sit, the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. I'm your host, Brian Micon, financial genius, Bitcoin class of 2011, and I play poker. Joining me are my fellow degens, Matt Glantz, back from an absence yesterday, and Brett Ritchie. Glantz is a former options trader on the floor of the Philadelphia Stock Exchange in the 90s and a hedge fund manager, and Brett heads Blitzpin, coming to a blockchain near you this fall. The whole thing is put together by Tony, the producer, and this is Market Mania! Tony, let's get right to it today. Matt Glantz, hell of a day in the markets. How's the fund doing?
The fund's doing pretty good. We're up like 7% today. We've had a lot of big days in the last couple of weeks. I mean, I talked about it before on the show in August and September. We got buried both months, two worst months of the year. But the last 2 weeks, we're up like 70% in the fund. So, I mean, we're just killing it. A lot of it's because of this stupid stimulus talk every day in and out with Pelosi and Trump. And we're just having fun with it right now. Everything's going well. But anyway, I missed the show yesterday because I was on a flight to Vegas. You guys had Roger Ver take my place. It was great. I got to watch it last night. So now you can see behind me, I'm in the area, enjoying Vegas. But I have a little complaint. Brad, what do you think about this? I go to the pool yesterday when I get here, I'm all excited for the 90-degree sun. And I'm sitting out in the lounge chairs, and the mask police come while I'm sitting out in the lounge trying to get sun in 90 degrees weather. And they're telling me you got to wear a mask while you're
by
wearing
yourself. It's insane. It's fucking nuts. No.
Masks a good idea during a pandemic, but not when you're outside by yourself sitting on a chair. All right. Let's jump to the top story of the day. It just happened. Trump approves the stimulus, a revised package. What went down with this?
So
the markets.
Headline: Trump approves stimulus, because a lot of first reports were that Trump actually approved stimulus, but it wasn't true. What he did was approve a deal, an offer for Mnuchin to make to Pelosi of 1.8 trillion, and she's still asking for 2.2. Who knows if they're going to come in between the middle at 2 trillion? But he really didn't approve stimulus. But the market's flying again because it looks like it's closer. The deal's closer, but it's not. Nothing's approved. It's gonna be ugly when it gets back to Pelosi and she says, "No, we want the 2.2." Have you have thoughts on this?
I mean, I don't even think that's ugly because they're printing it out of thin air. So who cares whether it's 1.8 or 2.2? I think it depends. Are people going to be voting based on what happens with the stimulus? And it really comes down to everyone in the Senate. They're going to vote based on what is in their own interest in November. And that's what both sides are doing. And so you see them both going to the media to sort of try and pit public sentiment against other people. Now Trump saying, hey, I want this deal. I want this deal. I want to give you guys checks. So if the deal doesn't get done, he can try and blame Pelosi. I still think a deal is going to get done here by the end of next week. The market agrees with me, but or they just don't really care because they think that the Democrats will just sweep and the market will fly then too. But yeah, I think a deal will happen.
All right, we will be watching the markets to see if the stimulus pumps it up again and more money, and the money cannon gets loaded up and the money printer goes brrr, and then, all the numbers go up. All right, SJWs are out at Coinbase. This has been a hilarious LOL the last couple of weeks. Brian Armstrong says they take an apolitical stance, but a lot of Coinbase employees didn't like that. So it said 5%, mostly engineers, took the exit package. I'm not even sure. I don't know. I don't even know if all I followed was that there was a big brouhaha. I didn't know. Was there like a BLM contingent or was it a MAGA group in there? Why did they make? I don't even know.
It wasn't MAGA.
I assume it's the SJWs.
there's something over a bathroom sign. I'm not quite sure. I think they had some transgender bathroom sign that somebody either took down or there was an argument over that. Brian Armstrong put out this blog post saying basically, like, let's just focus on work. We have enough challenges here at work without trying to solve the world's problems here also, which I personally agree with. I've worked with a fair amount of developers in my time, and just on average, they don't care at all about the outside world at work. So I think there's a fair amount of people that want to just have work at work and leave the rest of it outside.
Yeah, if you want to go and get your put on your Proud Boys uniform or your Antifa machinery, then like after work is when you do that. You don't necessarily. What does it matter? I don't know. I don't get it. Why is that controversial now? An apolitical stance? Matt Glantz, did you even follow this?
No, I didn't see any of it, but I'm with Brett here. Like if they're worrying about things that are not work related at work, they get too much time in their hands. They should be working when they're at work and leave the political narratives to when they get home.
So strange. And so like 5% left. Did they want Armstrong to go and march with one of the sides? I don't even get it.
Well, they got a good package. I think it was like a 6-month severance. So
yeah, they said it was big money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all for that's lights out over a Coinbase for the engineers that didn't want to work in an apolitical environment. That's so weird, man. The world is crazy.
I don't get it either. But I mean, it makes sense. 5%. That's not that many.
I mean, I guess at some point you got to like burn the place down with everybody or something. I don't know, but I don't know if it's pitchfork time quite yet. All right, so Chamath, this is back in the news today, where Chamath is once again spacking all over everybody's faces today. Look at this. I mean, Brett Ritchie, did you follow? It was just Glantz. Yeah. Did you follow this thing? Did you see what's happening here?
Like you said last week, he's got all the IPO names, IPO A through Z. He's just going through the list. He gets like a 20% finder's fee. It's just like one of those ICO guys from a couple years ago. He raises money, gets a piece of the company, and then it's his job to kind of put everything in place to make it go from like a $2 billion company to a $20 billion company. And that's his whole game. And he just loves doing it. But the thing is, the one thing that separates Chamath from the rest of them is he's putting his own money behind each one. So he's putting his own money at risk, which I like a lot.
But getting a big free roll too, right? Getting a pretty big free roll each time.
But that's just the way the business is. So why not take advantage of it? It's capitalism.
It's good if you could get it. Good work if you could get it over there. Brett Ritchie, would you take a quick
It's not like he's selling a scam companies. These are real companies. It's his job to take them and 10x them.
Yeah, I mean, Brett, what do you think?
I think he's worth, he's earning his money. Obviously, I would take a free roll on these. I don't have the capital to put in that Chamath does. I don't have the track record that Chamath does where people are going to give me that sort of money to put in. So he's earned it. And not honestly, I think it's interesting. Do you buy into these IPO names now, pre-company? Because you can hop in.
Bananas shit that's going on. Virgin Galactic got its own ticker already. IPOB is yet to become Open Door, but it will. Yeah. IPOC just announced like a couple days ago or something.
So are you buying
Clover Health?
Are you buying D, E, and F, Matt or Micon? Are you guys getting in these now or just wait and see?
I'm picking off a little D and E. I'm a gambler. I don't know. Like just good luck. Stake Chamath.
Going forward, I think that game's played out and the valuations are going to become too rich at the beginning now. There's not going to be as many big pumps when deals are announced. So the last few deals that got announced, you've seen these stocks go down after the announcement. So I think it's a dangerous game right now.
I mean, I like Open Door. I'm kind of excited for that. I mean, Virgin, is it Virgin Galactic? I mean, that's obviously a moonshot, as they say. It's interesting to me.
Trading on the stock exchange for a while now, for months. So that
yeah, the D, E, and F are the new ones that are company unknown now.
Right, and then
the problem is that a lot of these SPACs, they have to give their money back after a certain period of time if they don't find a unicorn or don't find a company to invest in. So they're kind of forced to find something, and that's not always a good thing because a lot of times they're going to raise the valuation of a company that doesn't deserve it when they're putting their money in.
Get it in. Shove that shit in. You already got it. The money cannon's loaded. Find a company. I was just going to say that Open Door is the only one of the first three he's done that I think could really, really, really run. I guess Virgin Galactic too, if that really worked. All right. Moving along. Pot stocks. Yeah, baby. Twist one up. The pot stocks are back. They've been beaten down for years and years. And I mean, it was so hot at the beginning. Everyone's going to buy pot like they've been doing. But then it's like, oh, regulations everywhere. And it fucks these companies like regulation always does. And then everything tanked for years. Now we're back. Pot.
Yeah.
Marijuana. I don't know whose story it is.
All right, so I'm gonna say this though. Kamala Harris, when she was DA in San Francisco, put over 1,500 people in prison for marijuana violations. Now she's out there just smirking and bragging about how she's going to decriminalize it. I really am bothered by her and that sort of record. But whatever, okay, put that to the side. It's good news for the pot stocks. Biden is the favorite to win the election, and they claim that they're going to decriminalize pot so he wins the election. So it sort of makes sense that they would be pumping. You looking at this sector at all, Matt?
No, I don't pay attention to this sector. I never traded it. A lot of traders I know are very much getting hyped on it right now. I see a lot of texts in my group chats, my trading chats about Tilray and some of the other ones, but it's not something that I ever play around with.
I mean, Tilray went on that massive pump earlier where it was trading like 10,000 times earnings or something absurd. And you haven't really heard about it in maybe a year or two since that. And it's back in the news, but there's a lot of other competition. I know there's some pot ETFs that are out there.
People flying today, up 1.5%. That's big for gold. It doesn't swing like cryptos, although I guess it kind of does sometimes. This is your classic hedge against the USD, and it's pumping.
So
they're printing.
Check out right to my left right here. You're right. You can see gold up $34 today an ounce, $1,930 an ounce. That's a big move for gold. Rarely moves that much in a day. And it's the first pump we've seen like this since like the big run and then kind of traced back to 1900. So let's see if this continues. But this has something to do with stimulus talk, spending, printing money, that whole thing with Trump, Pelosi. So that's what's causing it. Let's see if it keeps going through the weekend.
Bitcoin's pumping along with it, Brett Ritchie. What do you think?
Digital gold, I like both forms. I think it makes a lot of sense. If they keep printing money, people are going to look for these much harder assets that the volume of them can't be manipulated. So again, I'm a fan of both gold and Bitcoin, which has really taken on that digital gold narrative.
You better hope Elon doesn't start mining those asteroids soon. The little gold cap might increase there. I know Tony, the producer, is trying to bleep this out. All right.
That's right.
Yep. Now we have a Tony, check off the pot stocks and the gold flying. We got to jump into the WSB check-in here, because if anybody hasn't gone to r/Wall Street Bets, you are doing yourself a disservice. You need to go see what those degens are doing. You think this show has 3 degens? No, nothing close. Not even a drop in the bucket to what they got over there. Here's a guy.
There you go.
Do you see this? Do you see this, Glance?
Yesterday's big news. It was very surprising because GameStop seems like one of those kind of businesses, those stores that's kind of like dead for the future. Like, who needs to go to a mall to buy a video game? You just download it online if you ever go to the mall. But Microsoft's doing a deal with GameStop, and look at that.
And so GameStop has been sort of a negative meme stock on Wall Street Bets for a number of years now. And this guy said he was going to do a massive YOLO, which is when you just shove it in some ridiculous amount of money, essentially all in on one stock, usually options, usually out of the money options. And then he said he would do it on anything that Wall Street Bets asked for. And so, as a joke, they said GameStop, GME, and the guy really did sail in just such a massive amount of options, 1,000 contracts on all these different options for GME. Say it again, Glance, come in.
When did he buy the options?
So he buys the options before the Microsoft announcement as a joke, essentially as a joke.
Like a week ago.
Well, how much did it cost for this
and
joke?
It's about, so you could kind of you could run the math a little bit in your head there. He's in like the 1,000 at 20K, 20, 18K, 18K. He's in about 100K that's flipped. He's going to call it 150K. I can't actually see the last few. But it looks like, I think one of those is like a 40 ball. And 40, 30, maybe call it $250,000 or so. And then, he's up, 10X, a quick 2 million winner. No big deal.
So it's interesting because GameStop, another thing that hurts them too is PlayStation, they announced for the PS5, it's $100 cheaper for the digital only version. So if you buy a PlayStation where you literally can't buy a physical game, it's just download only, it's $100 cheaper. Almost everyone's going to take that option, which is almost like RIP GameStop. So I love it. It's a nice contrarian play that is going to hit huge, hopefully, for this guy.
Hey, guys.
Wall Street.
Before you move on, I just want to pop in here real quick and point out one thing. You notice all these accolades that he's been given, all of these little icons that are underneath his post? This is the future of money right here. This is the sort of thing that NFTs is going to bring out into the open, so that when you start giving, we talked about NFTs yesterday and people still have trouble wrapping the head around it. NFTs were tailor-made for this sort of accolade economy that Reddit really excels at, and I think you're going to start to see these things get cryptoized very soon. Anyway, thanks guys. I'd interrupt.
About that from Tony, the producer.
But let's explain what NFT stands for, guys.
Non-fungible token.
Okay.
All right. That's an
ERC.
Yep, one of a kind.
That on the Ethereum blockchain, those do reside. Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen. I think everybody knows what time it is when the not investment advice hat comes out, when the safety glasses come on. I think everybody knows it's the Market Mania pick of the day. Oh yeah, the pick of the day. Gotta love it. Matt Glantz, back fresh from a day off. What is your pick of the day today?
SRNE, Sorrento Therapeutics. We've talked about it before. It's a COVID stock. On Monday, can we get the ticker up there, Tony? Oh, there we go. On Monday, they're having their unveil for the new pipeline going forward, for the future pipeline of medicines and whatever, drugs and stuff. So I think there could be some hype going into Monday. It's 11:22 now. I think we recommended it was pick of the day last week at 10:78. So let's see what happens Monday. I like it.
All right, Brett Ritchie, pick of the day.
I'm rolling with CSIQ, CSIQ. Hopefully it doesn't make you seasick buying this stock. It is $41.50 now. It's already pumped about 5% today. I don't always love hopping in on a stock after a pump like this, but I've had my eye on this one for a while. There's a lot in the tea leaves that makes me think that this thing has a lot more room to run. So I'm buying CSIQ.
Canadian Solar it is. And Tony, go ahead and throw my pick of the day up on the screen. AMD, a lot of chatter, 82.7 right now. A lot of chatter on that Wall Street bets. Everybody thinks Mama Sue's going to pamp it in the next 2 weeks up and to run up to earnings. So you know what? Sometimes it really is that simple. And the WSB algos don't lie too often. All right, ladies and gentlemen, degens around the world. I hope you've enjoyed our little show that we put on for you today. The world's pretty messed up, left to right. But as Juicy J said, bands a make her dance, bands a make her dance. These chicks clapping, and they ain't using hands. Like and subscribe. And the Market Mania, and follow us on the YouTube and the Twitter and whatnot. And we'll see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow, next week. But for now, it's lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold. Number domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl. Switch it up. I do it so much
much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard, got the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury, power of attorney, wow, we're turning. Can't a lot like Mississippi burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine to look the other way. Couldn't clear space in my mind, was afraid of the time. Strobe lights like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right now, how about tonight? My interview's tight.